everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back, cruisies. We are your Cruise Fix Chicks. I'm April.
I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to talk about cruise essentials, what you need, what you don't need, what to bring, what not to bring. Now that you've got your cruise booked, we want to just kind of go over some, a list of things that we go by, not necessarily that's, mandatory, but this is what we go by for our cruises, for each one that we take. So let's start off, first of all, with the trivia question from last week. We had asked in 2015, who became the first godfather to christen a cruise ship? We asked you who the person was, what the cruise line was, and what boat it was. So if any of y'all were paying attention, maybe y'all Googled it, maybe you knew it right offhand. I did not. I'm not good at trivia, as you can tell. So I'm going to give that over to Melissa, and she can answer that trivia question for all you cruisies out there.
Okay, so the answer is the rapper Pitbull, and it was Norwegian Escape. So he became the first godfather to christen the ship. So that was pretty cool information because a lot of people have said Shaq. So I guess he's the spokesperson or something for Carnival.
Yeah, he's kind of like the godfather now for Carnival. Back in the day, it was Kathy Lee Gifford. She was like oh yeah. You can watch some old videos of her. Oh yeah.
Oh.
She was not really a brand ambassador, but she was on every one of their commercials, and she was dancing and all this other stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Get to know those things, right?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good, interesting information that we need. But yeah, so definitely that was interesting to read, So, but yeah, so let's definitely get into our documents and everything that we need for our venture and our cruising. So, we do have a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to share that real quick. And so we can kind of go over a few things. So, okay. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, perfect. And any of you cruise listeners may have to pause it and make it bigger or anything like that. So on this, so we just kind of put some information that literally, like she said, like April said, we kind of go by, some of the things that has helped us along the way with, making our cruise easier on some of the items. So definitely some plugs, if you see the plug there. So an adapter. So, because sometimes what Carnival ship will Freedom, it had one plug in the room. So that was we didn't have this on that boat, and we literally struggled with keeping our equipment, our electronics charged. So, and April uses these luggage tags, which I saw on our Hawaii cruise, and I was in love because we did that, the paper and tape it. And
while you're going through each of these things, go ahead and put your mouse cursor over them so they at least know where you're pointing at, just in case.
Okay, so my mouse cursor, but it's okay, anyway, it's different.
I can see it.
Because it's a presentation. I was looking at my big mouse, but anyway.
I gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Here we go here. Okay, so
there you go.
Definitely get some kind of adapter. And then, like I said, April uses these luggage tags, which are super, super awesome and durable.
They gotta kind of have not kind of like a Ziploc bag, but they're a lot more sturdy. And you have to clamp them pretty hard. And they've got the little, you wouldn't call them hooks, but the straps on them. They've got a male and female connector, so you have to screw each end in so they stay on there, so they're not coming off easily at all.
Right.
They're not like little snaps or something. They screw into each other, so they're very durable.
Yeah, because I always worry about that with ours, because we tape them, but we try to do the best we can. But sometimes, it can we're not getting around the handle where the paper is, so it can easily rip. So these are definitely
Exactly.
something I'm buying for our next cruise. It is definitely a cruise essential to have that. And so I put on there because this one right here. So the reusable coffee cup insulator. So I kind of saw these the other day, and I was like, those are actually really cool. So when you have a plastic cup or anything like that, it'll I run into my drink gets watered down really quickly or things like that. So I'm hoping that these are really good. I'd like to try it out and see. So for sure. But
I know we got our cups on our last cruise in Hawaii. We bought these tumblers and they were well insulated. I still use it till this day. But we did
mhm.
end up using those on our last cruise because we'd go up to the Lido and fill it up with ice.
Oh
Me
yeah.
being a water drinker, just fill it up with ice and water. That thing would stay cold all night long and still have the
Yeah.
ice in it the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely it makes sense. And I mean, we put on here the tumbler. You don't have to buy these, but I would just suggest bringing some kind of insulated cup. You don't want to keep having to run back and forth to the water machine and getting those little plastic cups that they provide. Get some, yeah. Oh yeah. Very
That big.
small plastic
Yeah.
cups. So so we went these hangers are I saw these on our last cruise as well. I'm going to be getting these because sometimes, I mean, April likes to ask them for extra hangers, which is fine. You can do that. But sometimes they don't have the little hooks on the side, and I need that for like tank tops and things. So I thought about buying these, and I think it's 30 pieces travel hanger set. And they're very lightweight. So if you're flying and traveling, that's definitely a must have if you have a lot of hanging items. So, or you can not overpack like I do. And anyway, but so then we've got magnet hooks, which these are amazing to have.
Oh, yeah.
For all purposes of, just hanging your hat or hanging your lanyard or something on it. I use these for closing my curtain on the balcony because
Yes.
sometimes it doesn't
There
close all the way.
There are some other magnets which we don't have them listed on here, but I do use them as well. They're very strong, but they're almost like a chip clip. They have little
Oh,
prongs on
sure.
them.
Yeah.
So I use those for the curtains. So I clamp them to the curtains and like in the middle, and then I stick them to
Yeah.
the side. So
Okay.
it
Yeah.
holds them. So those are pretty good as well. So you can hang any paperwork, up off the desk, so you're not having all that paper all over the desk anywhere.
Right. True. That is a very good idea. Yeah, we have to add that to our sheet here. So the next thing we have is these reusable stainless steel drinking straws. I saw these again, and I will be buying these as well because they can hang on your lanyard. And so if you're like me, I like to drink my drink out of a straw, my alcoholic beverage. So, so I like to have that. So that was actually a really kind of a cool thing because then you can just hang it on your lanyard and you have it anywhere you go. So
I like that idea. I would have never thought of that. I had the metal straws in my kitchen drawer, but they're long, and they have
yeah,
like I don't know if those do. I guess they do. I'm looking at them. They have like the little gel piece on the top, so it's kind of soft on your mouth.
I don't know if this one does per se,
I
but
mean, they look like it because it looks like the little caps
yeah,
on the end. They might just be
yeah,
a soft thing. But I like the ones that you've got there to hang on your lanyard. That's a great idea. So
yeah.
because I left mine last time, I stuck it in the cup, left the bar, and left it in the cup.
Yep.
So
That's and you don't want to be walking around with a straw in your hand,
no,
that's just it's just you're gonna lose it and you're gonna also get annoyed with that. So for
exactly.
me it's like this is already there, you've got it on your lanyard, so you're have that. Definitely that's a cruise essential to have is some kind of lanyard to put your your key card, or, so that way you always have that with you. But, so this would be something that I would hang on that, as well as these, clear, the sleeve, sanitizer bottles, so that you can hang on your lanyard as well, because, go to the buffet, germs,
Germs.
just be conscientious about that, of course, but let's see, this one as well was to me is a great buy, because they fit in these little bags, and they're, if you can kind of see it, but anyway, they're microfiber, lightweight beach towels. If you're like me, I hate taking their towels out on the beach if you're out and about on an excursion or anything like that.
They're bulky.
They're bulky, they're big, they're just obnoxious. And then, and you're hot, you're tired, I don't want to carry all that. So these are really lightweight. And supposedly nothing really, sand or whatever sticks to it. It just kind of, it's really nice. So to me, this is a very good cruise essential to have. So now, me personally, I like my...
Only person I know that does this. The only person I know that does this.
Creamer. Okay. I mean, I can't tell you, how many times some cruise ships have Coffee Mate hazelnut creamer, but some don't. And I just bring it just in case, because I don't remember who does and who doesn't. So it is a imperative thing that I always bring on our cruise, and have a little pouch when I go to breakfast. So the next one that I bring, me personally, is the diuretic water pills, because this is why a lot of people feel like they've gained weight on cruises. Is, they kind of bloat because they're not drinking as much water, they're drinking more alcohol. So I bring this as a staple when I go on any cruise. So that way, kind of just take one a day or something like that, so I don't feel as bloated. But anyway, like I said, bring some kind of Yeti cup or insulated cup, not necessarily this one, just wanted to put that as a cruise essential to have. This is very, very important. Now, make a magnet like we made ours personally. We put our, our last name, and then, I kind of decorated it with glitter, whatever. Make something, buy something, decorate your door so that you can recognize it. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's fine, it's not a big deal. Well, I mean, all the doors look alike. So
exactly. You get to a night of heavy drinking, you might be on the wrong floor. You might go into the wrong room, for that matter. So having magnets decorating your door kind of helps you out a little bit. You're like, oh, there's my door. Unless y'all start playing with each other and switching each other's magnets out, like we did.
Which we did on our cruise, yeah. And you guys were obnoxious. But you don't know how many times I passed my door because I wasn't looking for your magnets. I was looking for mine.
Yes, exactly.
But all in good fun.
Yes.
So the hamper is something that is imperative to have as well. So you can put your dirty, clothes in there and keep them out of, your suitcase or whatever. And plus, who wants to pull out their suitcase multiple times to put in dirty laundry?
Right. And it just keeps your room looking a little bit more
organized,
eye-pleasing and organized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's definitely, and then that way you can also drag it if you need to go do laundry. Like on our cruise, we were on there 15 days, so doing laundry was twice
a day. Not twice a day, but we've done it twice.
Because you're gonna need that. But this is important to have as well, so because not always are you gonna have a charging cord or plug to be able to plug in. So definitely get some kind of portable charger. Something compact, nothing exceptionally heavy. So that way, you're not having to lug that around either. Because I've had some of those portable chargers and they're so heavy, and it's like, okay, what was I thinking? Now I've got a heavy cell phone, and I've got a heavy, portable charger, and it's just too much. I try to be as
Right.
minimal as possible when we get off the boat. So then we got the fanny pack, which, you know, we all love fanny packs. But this one is important because it's waterproof, and it also can go underneath your shirt very easily. So you don't have to worry about.
It's more compact.
Yeah, it's more compact, and it's yeah, it's really, really thin. I mean, now granted, if you know, put a bunch of stuff in it, it's not going to be compact anymore. But when we got off the boat, like we were doing a jet ski excursion, and I, you know, wanted our cell phones, you know, our passports and some cash and things like that. And so we're, you know, going down. I'm like, I need something to be on my person that is secure. So this was something that I loved having. So have you ever used one of these?
I have not. I always use like my crossbody bag, but it's not waterproof. And of course, we hardly ever do excursions, to be honest with you. But that is a great idea, though, just to be on the safe side. I do have something that my phone goes in that's a waterproof case, but it's only my phone. And maybe, you know, I could probably get my credit card in there, or my sell and sign card or whatever in that same pouch. But that's a great idea. Like I said, you had some things that I would have never thought of. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, same with you. When I saw your list, I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. And some of these items that I have on here some of them are new that I saw afterwards, you know, watching people's podcasts and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about that straw, or, you know, things like that, or these hangers, you know, because we always bring extra hangers, but that adds extra weight, especially when you're flying. You don't want to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
You know, yeah, stand there and divvy out all your stuff and get it down to you know, 50 pounds. So so this one I found last night, and it said, you know, 6 pocket hanger mesh shower caddy. If you can kind of see it, it's got a, like a hanger hook, and then you could hang that on the shower door, because they don't give you any place to put shampoo, conditioner, body wash, whatever, you know, washcloth, loofah sponge. You know, so I kind of like this idea because it's quick drying as well. So then everything can kind of be right there. Plus you know, your razors or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It has, you know, has a little bit feel of organization, I guess. You know, you're in a compact
and those showers.
Yeah. And those are small. So, you know, you got to maximize your space where you can.
Exactly. I think the last boat we were on, in the shower, there was only one little soap dish up in the corner, and I had put 2 razors, shampoo, all my little travel bottles of everything, because it didn't all fit. And I just, you know, my husband uses different stuff than I do.
Some of them have the those wire, like, baskets or whatever you want to call them. And my razor would constantly fall through, and it would like drive me nuts. And I was like, okay. Then I'd be looking around because my razor split apart, you know, or whatever. So yeah, this is kind of, you know, an essential to have to feel organized in the shower. And then
I do have an idea that is not on here, and it just made me think about it. I actually have it sitting here in my office here. These are little plastic foldable step stools. They collapse.
Yeah.
Those are good to take with, especially women, on a cruise, to put in the shower, because it's plastic. It can get wet. It's not going to get ruined. To put your leg up on when you go to shave your legs.
Yeah, because you know, it's super fun trying to do that as a woman. You know, trying to shave your legs. I don't know. I would prefer you to shorten that couch up and give me a little bit extra room in that shower. But,
agreed.
You know,
agreed.
I'm not designing the boat, so, you know, what do I know?
It's either you're bending completely over and shaving your legs, and if the boat is rocking, God forbid, you're going to tumble first out that shower door, because there's just a curtain there. Most of them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If somebody has a curtain on a shower door, you're going out.
You're tumbling out, or you're trying to take that leg and hike it up against the wall and brace yourself up against the other wall and trying to, shave your leg that way. It's a lot of fun.
Hopefully you hadn't had any drinks. So
that stool is a great, great thing to do.
I paid some good money to see that. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, that's definitely, I do have that foldable stool on our list, our packing list. I forgot to put it on here. Yeah.
That's okay. You can only fit so much on here.
Yeah, but that is definitely a cruise essential to have if you can pack it, make room for sure. So the next one is this, the door shoe organizer, and it's got magnetic hooks, so you could put it on the wall. You can put, maximize your space again for, medicines or, anything, for the bathroom and or the room. If you've got 4 people in the room, you're going to need to, figure out how to use that wall space as much as possible, for sure. But the next item is bring a fan. Sometimes the rooms can get a little warm just depending on, but of course, do not bring a, plug-in fan. They will confiscate
an electric fan that you have to plug in. Do not do that. USB port, a USB. That's the kind of fan you need.
Yeah. And I mean, these aren't super powerful, but I mean, it still feels like, you're getting some airflow. If you need it. So
I know you can ask a room steward for a box fan. They do have them on board, and believe it or not, those are plug-in. Go figure.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah.
And that's the
if
craziest
you ask
thing.
them for one, you get one. But if you bring one on board, it has to be USB.
And what happened is they confiscated that fan from you and I, and then.
And they just keep stacking up these fans, taking them all away from everybody.
Which I find is weird because, why do they confiscate that, but yet provide you the same thing that they confiscated? So,
Go figure.
Go figure. It's the funniest thing because when we were on the Freedom, it was very hot in our room. Our AC did not work very well. And we had to ask them for a fan. And then, of course, the next time we went on a cruise, we brought a fan and then they confiscated it. So it was super. So like I said, Carnival can ship that back to me. But hey, good news is if they confiscate something, I did find out that
somebody's using it.
If they do confiscate something, there's supposedly a area when you get off the boat that has all the confiscated items and your room number, and they will give it back to you. I was like, I didn't know that until I saw something on a podcast or something and was listening to somebody. I was like, oh, I didn't know that they did that. So just FYI. Okay, so the next item we've got is, I put this on here because, just depending on where you're at in the cruise, sometimes it can get a little, loud or whatever. So if this also has a night light. So it's a sound machine and it has, 30 different soothing sounds. So if you also have children that, that are in your room as well. So that's just a little portable, easy sound machine with a little night light. Especially if you're in an inside cabin, those rooms can get exceptionally dark.
Oh yeah.
So, and then this I bought, and I love this little thing because it can come off the base as well. And it's a little motion light, and I put it in the bathroom. Some cruises don't need it because they do have a little night light already or some kind of ambient lighting. But some don't. And then, you don't want to turn on that bright light when you're trying to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and wake everybody up in your room.
Right.
And yourself and blind yourself. So this, you can set it on auto, and then if it notices, motion, it and it's a very light, so it's not very bright at all.
Okay, cool. Make sure you bring that because the one I have is a plug-in, and dummy me, I'm like, there's no plug-in for that in the bathroom.
Yeah,
there's no regular plug in the bathroom. I was like, crap, why would I do that? And then I saw yours on the last cruise. I was like, well, dang, I should have followed that. But now I
Yeah.
know.
Yep. And they have all kinds of different ones out there, so definitely, look online, and we'll put all the links to everything in our bio as well. So if you wanted to go out and look for that particular item. So this one that we have is the towel for neck and face, so you can wet it. When we went, me and my family went to SeaWorld recently, these were amazing. We were so hot. So it is something that, I thought of, I'm going to do for our next cruise, because sometimes depending on when you cruise, it can be very hot out, and you need some kind of, just a little bit of something to kind of cool you down. So
Yeah, I have a couple of those. Me and my husband have one of those. Never taken them on a cruise, which is a good idea, by the way. I use them for like when I'm out working in the yard. I wet them, bring them out, flick them, and put them around my neck, or I put them tie them above my head or something, just to keep moisture and keep me cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just that little bit of that moisture will definitely cool you down a little bit, or maybe it's a placebo effect. It just feels like it does.
Yeah, sure that.
It works. Because when I went to Aruba, and we went to Bonaire, and it was so hot, and on the bus that we were on, the AC didn't work very well. That would have been amazing, because I got off that bus and I was just dripping sweat. So that would have been nice to have. So this I would recommend, as if you're packing a lot of stuff and you need to kind of have a little bit, either the compression bags, or you can get the vacuum seal bags and just ask your room steward for her vacuum, or his or her vacuum. Because I did that. I brought a bed pad for, because some of the beds can be hard. And so I vacuum sealed that into our suitcase.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Proactive. Look at you.
My husband wanted to leave it behind when we left, and I said, no, I'm going to ask her for the vacuum cleaner. And she gave it to us. So
nice.
Packed it right back up. So the next thing is, I love these Febreze air fresheners, because you just pop the back of it, and you just need one for a room. They can be sometimes a little overpowering, but if you can find something, so you don't have to bring some air freshener cans and things like that. These are very compact and small, and you just, like I said, there's no plug in. It's just a pop. You just kind of pop the back of it, and it's a constant, smell, because the rooms get, when people are sweaty or whatever, you've got all these, dirty clothes or whatever, it can get, boys' locker room smell sometimes in a small cabin. So if you don't have especially if you don't have a balcony room where you can open the door. So, and then this I bought a long time ago, I think 2022, and it has been amazing. So
I got one, by the way. I would show it to you, but it's behind my thing, and I don't feel like getting up to get it.
Oh,
but
awesome.
I bought one, something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because it's amazing, when you have to, carry all your passports and, print out your cruise documents and, bring cash and things like that. And
it just holds everything in one little spot. You're not digging through everything to find everything, or, carry this big bulky folder like I had with everything in it. And I'm just like, I need something more simple. And I saw yours. I was like, all right, gotta get me one.
Yeah, and it zips up, and it keeps everything from falling out. So amazing. I love this thing, and I only use it for cruising. So
yep.
So the next thing is some beach towel clips. These are multi-purpose, by the way. I don't know if you are an avid reader, these can be wonderful to hold your book.
Oh, okay.
So, hold the pages from flying. So if you're on the pool deck and you're reading. So I've used those to hold my pages. So
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So, and then of course, hold your towel. But if you're not using your chair, give it up.
Exactly. Quit hogging the chairs. We'll get into that on another episode about cruise etiquette. But But yeah, these are some great cruise essentials. For those of you that have these, great. If there was something on here that you're like, dang, I never thought of that. Well, there you go. But yeah, just like I said, we'll leave the links in our show notes and on our website, so you can find out all these items here and get them if you don't have them, or it
Yeah, and
helps you
so
run
then
your travels.
exactly anything to make things, like I said, easier, more organized feeling. These are some great essentials to have, and as we cruise, people have given great information, and there's things that that I bring on cruises that I'm like, okay, I don't think I needed to bring that, and I've done that many a times, and I'm like, okay, that's not a cruise essential anymore that I thought it was, but it's not. But some of these are just really amazing to have. So,
Oh yeah.
but then I want to go into our next item, which is, hold on one second. So here is, can you see the screen?
I can see it perfectly. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is kind of just essential of April and my, our checklist. So just some things, I've gone through Pinterest, and there was a lot of stuff that I'm like, yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that. So I kind of compiled, and just like you've done, compiled a list that makes sense to us. These are
Correct.
our main, go-to items that we need when we go on a cruise. So, if you want to screenshot that and use it, great. If not, make your own and definitely check it off. And, we went on a cruise at MSC, and I didn't use my checklist, and I forgot all kinds of stuff. So it is important.
Yes, definitely important. It's just a combination of both of our things. Like Melissa said, she saw things that I had on mine that, oh, I didn't think of that. And same thing with hers. I was like, oh, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a combination of both of ours together. It's just like, because once you get on that boat, I'm going to tell you, if you forgot something and you have to go buy it, you're going to kick yourself in the butt for having to go buy it, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to buy it.
Yep.
Especially if it's on the boat.
Yeah. And speaking from experience, when, my husband kicked my toenail off, which was super, I did not bring my my first aid kit. And then so we had to go to the medical facility on the boat, and he didn't even have a Band-Aid. Like, he makeshift a Band-Aid for me and then still charged me $25 for this. I was like, are you kidding me? And so,
and that's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Never forget a first aid kit.
Nope. Always make sure I bring that, because whether it's just the Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, which I buy, I don't have it on here, but I bought on Amazon. It came like 4 boxes of just little tiny alcohol wipes. You rip one open, it's a little square of alcohol. For disinfectant to put your Band-Aid on. I put that in my first aid kit, some Band-Aids, Neosporin, just little things like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And medications, bring anything and everything, because you never know what you're going to need.
Yes.
Cold and flu, sinus, cough drops. I don't care what it is, because sometimes I forgot my toothbrush on one, and we had, we looked high and low. You'd think that there would be a toothbrush, but the boat we were on, it was literally, I think it was the MSC. I mean, they didn't have a Band-Aid, so.
So that means they didn't have a toothbrush.
They didn't have a toothbrush, so it was super. And so yeah, it was definitely bring anything like that you will cost you an arm and a leg. You definitely don't want to have to pay for that as an extra when you can get it at Walmart for
oh yeah,
way less.
definitely.
So
even now there's stuff you can get from this list at Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways around buying this stuff that's very cheap. So that you can, the one thing I don't know if I ever put on my list, which I'm kind of scanning over right now, and it could have been on that other list that you had prior, but they're little travel size bottles that you can put your lotion, shampoo, and stuff in instead of buying the little travel size things. Get your shampoo and stuff that you use from home and squeeze it into these bottles, and bring
True.
those little bottles with you. That's what I do
Yep.
because
Yeah. And
I
I mean,
like my
if it's a small, if
lotion
it's a,
and all that.
yeah, if it's a short cruise, absolutely. I mean, if like on our 15-day, I brought my entire bottle. I was like, I don't know. You never know.
I still bought the travel size, but I bought a bunch of them.
Yeah, true. True. But yeah, definitely we'll add that to the list. Nick. I'll update that. But
Okay.
so the next one we have is some miscellaneous items, which seems like quite a bit. But again, it's, you know, simple things that you may or may not need, but you know, they're on here.
Stuff we just showed too.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we just showed that was
Yeah.
on that first page. So you know, electronics. I didn't put on here computer. Some people work on their trips, but you know, so it was not something that was I'm doing. So
Right. Exactly.
that's about as far as it goes. But food and drinks, we always, and I don't know if you do this or not, but we always have water delivered
I
to
never
our
have.
never.
Oh yeah, that yes, yes, that I do. I thought you meant like the food because I noticed that you brought food on the Hawaii cruise. I'm like, I've never brought food on board a cruise. I mean, but that's a
Yeah.
great idea because you get these little snacks. But yes, I have. I think Carnival has changed from having the water delivered to your room anymore. I think you have to go pick it up. I could be wrong.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because
I
remember
mean,
we had to
well,
get the big bottles at the bar, but I don't know about like the
no, we got a case
24 pack.
on our
Did you?
Hawaii cruise. Yeah, we got a case.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it is ridiculously priced, but
Of course.
but pay attention because we went on the Norwegian something and we called and the guy did not inform us that we were buying liters, and
Oh yeah, I
we
remember
had
you telling me that.
three staterooms and we got liter bottle, or not bottles, but like contain, I don't even
They were
know.
huge.
They were huge. And we got
Yeah.
24 delivered to each room. And it cost us almost $100. And we were probably like,
Wow.
so this guy not telling us that it was liters. We thought we were ordering just regular 12-ounce bottles of water. So definitely make sure if you do order water to be delivered to your room that you're ordering just the 12-ounce bottles. But some cruise lines allow soda, some don't.
Right.
And there's my creamer packets. So, you know,
I see that.
I put
Sugar
sugar
packets.
packets sometimes, you know, it just depends. You know, most of the time they have regular, you know, sugar.
Or Splenda. I use Splenda. So,
Yeah.
but if you have a special type of sugar that you use that you're not sure if they have it on the cruise line, I'd bring it with you just to be on the safe side.
Like sugar in the raw or something like that. Definitely.
Right. Exactly.
So important documents. You know, we kind of talked about this earlier, and I'm like, I agree that if you can afford to get a passport because you just never know what can happen on a cruise. And, you know, if you get left on the dock or or something happens,
and that's the thing. Take that passport with you when you get off the boat. A lot of people say, no, don't take that. Take it with you, just in case.
Yep.
Because you never know. Something could happen. You'd be left in that that country and you can't get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so take it with you.
I mean, there was an article recently about the Norwegian, a family of 9 being left on, you know, and it was, you know, and it was a nightmare for them. And I felt so bad. I was like, God, that is awful. So definitely, if you can afford to get a passport, get a passport. Yes, you can cruise with a birth certificate.
Right.
But, you know, if something happens and you get into an accident and you have to stay at their hospital, that birth certificate is not getting you back home. So
correct.
So yeah.
Correct.
And, so definitely, and then, you know, this one does not apply to us, but I just went ahead and added it. So, just in case for those people who do travel with children, here's kind of a checklist. I mean, I'm trying to remember when my kids were little, what you needed. I was like, I don't remember.
I don't even remember having, my kids were not young like that when they went on cruises with us. They were already like teenage
Yeah,
years, so I didn't have to worry about that, thank goodness. But
yeah,
yeah, that's a
I
great
know.
idea to remember to bring stuff for babies if you're bringing babies on a
Yep,
cruise with you.
definitely. And so that's definitely our, our packing list that we use. And, feel free to use it or, create your own. And then
Absolutely.
April does a cruise journal. So
I'm so extra. I kind of do this. I did some research and I was like, I want to keep track of the money I spend on each cruise, how much it cost us, how much we spent, were we over, were we under, and just kind of like a little memorial thing of that
yeah,
cruise. But it's got kind of all your information, your cruise line, ship name. That's where you can keep all this information written down. So if you ever have to look back to it, you have it.
yeah.
My mother-in-law is notorious. I love her to death. She's notorious for writing stuff down, but don't remember where she wrote it down at for cruise lines and stuff. And she can't remember her sign into like maybe a website for the cruise line
Oh,
and just
true.
stuff like that. So it makes it more difficult and her being older and stuff like that. I get. But
Yeah,
again, I thought this would help. If you have something that is cruise related, it might help
yeah,
you along that. So it's got flight information to the port, flight information from the port, shuttle service, confirmation numbers, date, pickup, all that stuff, just to give yourself all this information. Now, just keep in mind that anytime you book a cruise, and do not show your booking number to anybody, whether
yes.
it's online or to somebody you don't know, because hearing stories in the past of
Oh,
people not going on their cruise because somebody canceled their cruise because they had their information. So just
yeah.
keep that in mind to be keep this for you, not for everybody else. This is just
It's
for your use only.
amazing what people, when you join like the Facebook pages for that cruise ship, it's amazing what people divulge.
Yes,
It's
exactly. And it's like too much
unbelievable.
information. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Keep it simple.
Um, exactly. So the cruise budget planner, I kind of just put like the first part over there, being you're doing this. I don't have my mouse to do it with me because I'm using my phone right now. But anyways, the third page at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So there, underneath cruise, I usually kind of put maybe what the cruise cost, and maybe if we bought pictures, souvenirs,
Hmm.
things like that, and then your ports of call. Not that there's 20 ports of call, but maybe you went to this certain port and you can go, I'm going to estimate, I'm going to spend about this much. Not that you're going to know what you're estimating to spend, but you could kind of write down what all you bought there. So that way, when you get home, you can kind of go, let's see how much we actually did spend. And up in the little corner there, it's got
We blew that budget right out the
we
water.
exactly. We don't ever go, okay, this is all we're going to spend. I just like to get an idea of how much we actually did spend, because when we
Yeah.
go on a cruise, and not everybody's this way, but when we go on a cruise, we always buy a picture. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
if it's one or two, we always buy a picture. And those
Yeah.
are like 20 something dollars a shot per
Yeah.
piece. We always get the internet.
Hmm.
My husband cannot live without the internet. He's got to have the internet.
Toss
It
that
does help
phone
to talk
out.
to the girls. Does help to talk to my girls and my grandkids when I'm away from home.
Yeah.
And just any other thing that you're, maybe a spa. If you don't plan on doing a spa treatment, but you end up
Yeah.
doing it, you might want to write that down. So that's kind of what that is. And it's telling you, what was estimated, what we spent, and if we were over or under. So if you want to scroll to the next pages.
Well, 1 second. So
Sure.
on this, and what I love about this cruise details is I don't know how many times my husband asked me, all the way up until our cruise, even the day of our cruise, like when is it? What's our room number? Like, and I have to
What's the
constantly
name of the
log
boat?
in. What's the name of the boat? Like it's amazing. I'm like, can you remember anything?
Right.
So it's nice to have this because I can literally print it out, put all the information, put it on the board, and then that way, hey, go to the board or look at it, whatever.
Right,
Because
exactly.
sometimes I'm like, I don't have my phone accessible to be able to log in and check all of that, and sometimes it's not always that simple. So
Exactly.
having all of this right there at your disposal, amazing.
Yep.
So the next one we have is this.
Then we have on the ship things. If you do research like I do, not everybody's that way, but I do a lot of research. If I'm going on a boat, never been on this certain boat before, I kind of do like a video walkthrough of what the boat looks like and see what all kinds of things that they have available, such as activities and shows and this and that. Maybe this boat has a roller coaster, or this boat has a game show, just different kinds of things, dance things, dance classes, whatever it may be. I kind of write that stuff down on here, things we must do on the ship, and I'll write them down just so I can get an idea. If you book specialty restaurants that normally are extra charges, I'll write those down and what days those were listed as and what time. That way you don't forget and you're getting on the boat going, what day would we book that? I don't remember what day that was.
What day of the week it is. So
exactly. Activities, the same thing, Yep. Activities, whether it's participating in bingo or any of their shows you want to go to, or I'm just trying to think of all the things that they had on the cruise the last one we were on. I'm sitting there trying to
if you want to watch a specific entertainer, like my husband absolutely
comedy show,
the entertainers. We needed to follow them around, and sometimes they played in Red Frog. Sometimes they played in in the atrium. So we kind of can jot those things down. Yes, you have your app and you can always look at that, but sometimes sometimes you just
it takes a while for that thing to get up.
Yeah, and if you like the Norwegian cruise line, their app was not as user friendly. So trying to even get on that, I just wanted to chunk my phone. And so sometimes having, let's go ahead and plan out some activities and write it down so that way, we can keep track of
that. It's right there in your face. Yeah. And just any notes you want to take, to remind you of something, maybe your room steward, their name. Yeah. Even though they give you a little card, sometimes you always forget their name. If you want to leave a tip or something that wasn't so great on your cruise, to remember to do when you get back home, when you have to do that survey at the end. Yeah. Oh, I got to remember to do this. Say this, say that. Because once you get home, you forget sometimes, Yeah. So any kind of notes that you want to jot down about that particular ship helps you out. I did it that way. You can take this and revamp it the way you want, but this is kind of works for me. But you can always take it and go, oh, well, let me just change it a little bit, So I do have it in Word form. I can have that on there if you want it, so that way you can edit it if you want to. I have no problem with that. This is our PDF, so you can't really change it, but I've got one in Word form as well. So if any of you cruisies out there would like this, we'll go ahead and put it out there in Word form, so you can change it and edit it if you'd like.
Perfect. Yeah. And so then you've got your cruise planning timeline, which we don't agree on, but.
Now, I used to have, along with this journal, my packing list was at the end of this. So that's kind of where my packing list came in. It was all in this one big journal. So, but the cruise planning timeline, 2 weeks before, check to make sure you have everything on your packing list. This is ample enough time, in my opinion, to get everything that you need to buy. If you don't have it, go out and buy it. Yeah. That's even on Amazon. You've got 2 weeks prior to your cruise. Go ahead and get it ordered, get it shipped to you, go to the store, buy it, whatever. So you have plenty of time. The 1 week before, confirm all your reservations. I always just kind of go back and look on my my cruise itinerary to make sure that it does say paid in full. that I do have my documents printed out, my luggage tags, and any information regarding the cruise. I print that all out. Even if you might not need it, I print it out.
Yep.
Check the weather just to kind of make sure that it's still going to be sunny. You're hoping. That's what we always hope. It could be rainy, so some people might want to pack their what's it called? Poncho.
Yeah.
It might be cold. You never know. Weather nowadays.
Well, when we went to Hawaii, it was what, 48 degrees in Long Beach?
It was freezing.
I mean, it was insane. I was like, okay, we did not pack for that weather. I mean, and I should have known because I went to San Diego a long time ago. And I mean, I've never been to California. And so I assumed it was warm because that's what the TV shows show.
It's what you're always allusion to.
Yeah, I found out real quickly that it is not always.
It's
warm.
not. So always check it. Yeah. Notify the banks about your travel dates and card usage for your card usage, basically, because if you don't call them, not that it's a big deal, but sometimes if you get out of the country and you try to use your card and they're like, this is fraud, you cut your card off, you're not going to get anywhere, you know?
No.
So always call the bank and let them know, hey, I'm going out of town, I'm going on a vacation from this date to this date. So if you see any things, and sometimes they might ask you, okay, so where are you going? So I have an idea, and we can note your account. So that's a good thing to do. I already mentioned the whole print your documents, including luggage tags. I did that. Confirm with your house sitter or pet sitter, which I always have to do because I have 3 pets.
Yeah.
And I have a house sitter that stays at my house and watches my house and my animals. But I always prepare a checklist for her, you know, regarding their food and when to feed them, to do this, to do that.
Worry. Yeah. So then you're on your cruise. You don't feel like you have to call and check in. And that is important. We do the same thing. We have a house sitter who comes in and it's, just make a little checklist for them, you know?
Yep. Not that I don't call and check or I don't text once or twice. I still like to make a checklist, make sure they're aware of what needs to be done. Now, this other thing, day before, me and Melissa differ on this right here. I personally don't pack until the day before.
Stresses me out.
I always have. I don't know why. I pack for me and my husband, everything. And I just go by that. I have that checklist sitting there. And I'll go, okay, let's get this, and I'll throw it all in my bed the night before, and then I start packing it up. So, that's a bad habit of mine. Melissa's about a month out, you know, especially for Hawaii.
Well, and what I do is I bring my suitcase out and I literally set it in my bedroom and I just start chunking things into it. You know, like for example, if it's cold out where I live, I'm going to just go ahead and throw my shorts and my tank tops in there. You know, I don't need those right now. So I just kind of start chunking. Now, granted, within the week of the cruise, I go back through it, go through my checklist, remove things that I thought were important at the time, but may not need them now. But I just literally just start chunking things into this suitcase and it just, I don't look at it for the entire month. I just literally just add to it. And then the week before, but I cannot pack the day before a cruise. I would lose my ever loving mind.
Again, this is like all based on me. So again, if this is not your preference, you're more than welcome to change it, but that's what I have on mine.
And please comment because I'd like to know, are you an early packer or are you an April? So.
Yes, we're going to call it an April. The day before packer is called an April. Open and prepare all documents needed. I don't know why I put open, but that's just weird, but okay. Just make sure that you have your passports and your cruise documents and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's put in your little travel thing that we showed you on the first page. And take all non-essential items out of your wallet. And what I mean by that is You don't need to take everything that's in your wallet, like appointment cards for doctor's office visits and, gamer cards and all that for all these things. Just take your license,
Yeah.
your insurance card, and your credit card. That's all you need in your wallet.
Yep. And
Female,
that
speaking
rings
from a
true
female,
because I mean, what if you lose your wallet, and you have it in your, your purse or your,
mhm,
bag or whatever, and you lose that, then you have to call all of your credit cards and you have to, that's such a hassle. I mean, I can't even imagine. So bring only what is necessary.
exactly. So the day of the trip, I've done there, unplug all your electronic items in your home. Being I have a house sitter, she never eats anything here or uses anything that I can tell. So I just unplug things that aren't going to be used,
Yeah.
just to save on electricity. So I have fans, stuff, I go unplug those, or even chargers
Computers
or
or whatever. Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that. All electronics,
Yeah.
I kind of just unplug them unless she's going to be using the TV. I keep that plugged in, of course.
Yeah.
I always prep my house for dumping any garbage. Take all the garbage out of the house. You don't want to come back to something very smelly. I have a house sitter. Shouldn't happen, but you never know. I'll tell you a
Right.
little quick story. Is my whole family went on a cruise for my sister's 50th birthday one time. We were going to Mexico, and it was me, my husband, my youngest daughter, and my nephew in my car, and we had either gotten breakfast or something on the way driving to the port. And we ate our food, we put it in the bag, because, okay, here's your trash, put it in the bag. So I had it sit in the front floorboard, and we were getting everything out of the car, and you get the hustle and bustle and forget, and I left that bag in that car for a week.
Oh, no.
So when we got back and I opened the door,
Oh my God.
It was so bad, and it lingered in my car. So do that in your home. Make sure you take all your garbage out. That means your bathrooms, your kitchen, any old food cups, whatever. Just throw it all away before you leave.
Yeah.
Clean your dishes, clean up your house. I'm the type that has to have my house immaculate before I leave.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it's got to be clean from top to bottom before I leave.
Well, one, because when you come back from your cruise, the last thing you want to do is have to clean.
Exactly.
You've just had somebody clean your room and take care of you all week. The last thing you want to do is come home and have to clean.
Exactly. So eat breakfast. Just don't leave it in your car.
Yeah.
And go ahead and load your car with luggage and necessary paperwork, whether you're getting an Uber to wherever you're going, if you're going to the airport, or if you're driving to your port, or somebody driving you like a family member. Load up the car with your luggage and necessary paperwork, and make sure you get everything, because you don't want to get to the port and forget, especially if it's a long ways away.
And especially because we flew to Hawaii, we had to get up at the butt crack of dawn, and it was, you don't want to have to be doing that at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You want to literally get in the car and go. So,
if you have to, the day before, just sit all your documents on your countertop that you know you're going to need.
Yeah, but always double check it again. I mean, it is so imperative that people,
twice, 3 times.
Check, because there's so many times where people will get to the port and they somehow or another had their passport or had their birth certificate, and then literally it disappeared. So always check it the day before, you're walking out the door, and just, I'm always like opening that thing up and just looking, because I'm like panic stricken. Like, I'm like, okay, we got to make sure we have all this. I can forget the first aid kit.
Right.
But don't forget your documents, and always print 2 copies of the documents.
I was going to say,
even if that they say you can do it on your phone and things like that. Some particular boats require you to have the documents. When we went to Aruba on Carnival Celebration, they had no problem using our phone. Everybody got through that line except for me, because my phone was spooling, and I was like, oh my God. But thankfully I had the documents printed. But then when we went to Hawaii, I didn't print them, and then we had to go into the special line.
Right. And they're like, no, you can't use digital. You have to have the hard copy.
Right.
And we're like, what?
Right.
Okay, well, that's weird. But yeah, I was exactly, you're thinking the same thing I was thinking of to tell our cruisies about that because I remember that happening to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
always have a hard copy no matter what.
Yeah.
Always.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, enjoy your cruise. That's the final thing. Everybody's cruise is going to be different. Your vacation is what you make it. Don't let somebody else's rowdiness or meanness ruin your vacation. Enjoy your cruise. It's your cruise.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So yeah, definitely now that you've booked your your exciting adventures and and you've got a little bit of a plan. Next is, we're going to talk about getting on the boat and what all that entails, getting to the terminal and what to do.
Yes. Upgrades, whatever. Now, just a quick thing of being we've told you what you can bring. I'm going to go over a quick little thing of what you cannot bring. And these are no-nos. These are no-nos. Okay. So you can't bring any surge protector on board. The electrical system on a cruise ship is different than what is on land, and those will cause a fire. So do not bring anything don't even bring a surge protector at all.
Yeah.
You cannot bring an iron on board. You cannot use candles in your cabin. Some of these seem like common sense, but you never know. Some people may not know these things. No electrical and household appliances containing any kind of heating element, such as iron, clothes steamers, immersion heaters, heating blankets, water heaters, coffee machines, hot plates, toasters, heating pads, humidifiers, etc. You can't bring helium balloon. You cannot bring helium-filled balloons, hoverboards.
Okay, so
some of these things are just strange.
The sad part is if somebody mentioned it, it's because somebody did it. And that's the sad part.
It says hoverboards. And for those of you who might be into this, handcuffs are not allowed.
Okay. Even the fuzzy ones?
And you cannot bring a canoe. Who would bring a canoe? But okay. A surfboard or any sort of a boat on board. I don't know who would have done that. Do not hang anything from your balcony. If you're a balcony room, do not hang anything on your balcony. It will be taken away from you. You will get fined. Do not do it. So those are those little things that do not do. I'm waiting to see if that list grows over the time to see what kind of stupid crap people bring on board that they're not supposed to.
Don't bring any stuff to smoke. I won't say what.
No,
but
that's right.
Yeah. And if you bring any of these items and you set the cruise on fire, or you want to talk about saying enjoy your cruise and not let anybody ruin it, that's going to ruin a lot of people's cruise.
That was one of the things that I read was some people wanted to hang stuff off their balcony, say like a team flag. Well, that's frowned upon, so that was a no-no. But another reason why is because they don't want to everybody cover up their balconies, and then it just looks odd. Yeah. Second of all, if somebody's smoking and a hot ash falls onto it, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, it's going to burn up. Yeah. So be mindful, people. It's common courtesy and common sense.
It's common sense to bring what's important, and don't pack anything that is not important and doesn't add value to your vacation. So
correct.
I mean, wear a t-shirt if you want to support your local football team or whatever.
Exactly.
But a flag.
All right. Well, so before we end this, one of our viewers did comment and leave us a little trivia question that we're going to ask for this week. So this trivia question comes from Leanne Austin of 1934. The question was, what does the coin on the ship represent? So if any of you cruisies know this answer, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to know what your answer is. We'll
I
probably have to
love
Google
it.
this ourselves because
I love
I
that I love
kind
that
of
she
know, but
mentioned
I
that.
kind of don't know.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys reaching out to us and giving us
Yeah.
some support, ideas, trivia questions, things like that. So we certainly appreciate it. And this was one of these big topics that could just go on forever.
Right.
So, but that would
Absolutely.
be our trivia question for next week.
Okay. I
So,
can't wait to hear
do you have
the
anything
full
else?
answer. No, I think that's it today. So, and of course,
All right.
if anybody has any other great ideas, comment, share, like, subscribe to our channel so that we can get out there a little bit. Definitely appreciate it. We just love talking about cruises, and we hope you do too. And
I do know that there was. Now, see, I just lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. But yeah, I know. I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyways, remember, tune in, get your fix, and cruise on. And we will catch you guys next week. Have a good night.
Bye.